All right. Welcome to the Money Line. I jumped on a bit early. Hopefully, this is going to work. I just wanted to make sure I got the audio tested. Sounded nice in the old earlobes. Yeah, just want to make sure that we're good to go. So I won't hop into it quite yet because I got 3 minutes. So for those of you who are starting, you can't see anything, but you can hear it. What up, Mayu? Can you, I hope you can see me because it looks like, oh, good. You can see. Thanks, D. Look at that. Thank you guys for being here. This is going to be my first solo show, and I'm pretty pumped about it, to be honest, because I have so much shit to talk about. Sorry. This will be fairly censored. That might be the worst you hear. I'm not going to make any promises because I am known to somehow or sometimes throw out an F-bomb or two. So we'll see. We'll see what comes out. This is going to be pretty much completely off the cuff. I got a few things that I really want to share about, but you don't know. You never know with me. I might bust into a rap soon. You just subscribed now. Why, thank you, beautiful wife of mine, for just subscribing to my show. It's great to have a new subscriber, and you don't like to talk sports with me in the car, so hopefully you will now. Let's see if. Oh, okay. Well, that makes more sense. D, if you can write some of the stuff that I talked to you about, that'd be fun because it'll make me laugh. But I'm gonna go. I mean, I guess I'm already live. This is a fun start, but I'll really get into it at 10:15 because that's what time I said I was gonna go. So if you're still watching, please keep watching. Make sure you grab yourself a drink. And let's go. I'm gonna run this like I run a fit club. For those of you that don't know, I run a live workout on. Nice. I'm not going to throw any F-bombs out. That is quite the delay, eh? Holy moly. Makes sense. Maybe they'll beat me out. You got to watch my sponsors and the radio ads. They really got control of me soon enough. Anywho, yeah, so at 10:15, we're going to get going. I'm going to let this bad boy go. Oh, yeah, that's what I was talking about. Fit clubs. It's 10:15. Welcome if you're just showing up. Thank you so much for being here. This is the Money Line. I am James Delzell, and we's about to throw down. I wanted to start it off with a little freestyle, so time to get clicky, get sticky. Check it out. Yeah, check it out. It's Money Line. It's Money Line. Spitting rhymes. Every time I drop a dime like it's hot and it's hot. I'm coming in when I hot to the spot. Well, nah. I'm not. I'm just not going to do that. So you're welcome. Next time I'll have a written verse for you. But right now we're going to kick straight into the Money Line with your host, James Delzell, solo tonight for the first time. For those of you that follow and watch the Money Line, I typically have a guest and usually have a co-host. Mr. Matt Vaders is in bed tonight. Let's be honest. I'm not going to play around. He went to bed. He said he's old. I think I got 3 or 4 years on him. Maybe it's just 2, but either way. Bad excuse, Mr. Matty. But you know what? That doesn't matter because I'm here to let loose, throw down, and talk some stuff. So I'm just going to jump right into it because I put some posts about what I was going to talk about. It's going to be all over the map. I want to start. This is what I want to start with because this is the most important thing to get out of my chest. It was this weekend, the fights, the Triller Fight Club. For those of you that stuck to it, I'm not going to lie. It was a show. It was entertaining as an entertainer. I really bought into what they had to offer there. It had its moments. There's a lot of, I'm not going to hate, man. There's a lot of hate going on in the world right now. I'm not here to, I'm going to watch in part of my mouth and I'm not going to poop on anybody. I might take a couple shots here and there, but you know what? I'm going to give mad respect to everybody that deserves it. And, I'm not going to knock anything. I'm reading so many brutal comments from people just like, there's a lot of hate in the world right now. We don't need it. So let's just show some love and go on that, man. Sports, as much as we all love our teams and can get into wars and fights about sports, let's just love one another. It's not the end of the world if your team doesn't win the Stanley Cup for 60 years or, if you've never won a championship or if you're not at the Super Bowl. It's not the end of the world, guys. We'll get them next year. So let's all just love and let's get right into this Triller Saturday Night Fight Club. For those of you that tuned into that, I'll just be honest and say what I saw and, speak on that. I saw Mr. Saw a lot of Misters. Mr. Mir, Frank Mir, I saw him throw down. Didn't do too bad. It was really interesting with the commenting. I'm so used to the UFC's commenting and commentators, and it was just a weird mix. It was kind of cool that they were switching commentators. It seemed like for each fight. Again, I was kind of in and out of what I could watch and what I couldn't at the time. So I did see that Mario Lopez was chatting at one point. He seemed pretty knowledgeable. He was honestly there's just so many guys speaking at once. I think there was 4 or 5 commentators, and like De La Hoya was there just yelling. It was interesting. It was an interesting one. But Mario Lopez kind of it was interesting to hear him, man. He had knowledge and seemed to be kind of the most in tune with the fights from what I saw. I can't even remember which one he was. I think it was, but Frank Mir fight was pretty good. You got to give the guy some props. I know it was, again, these older fights on the Triller cards. For those of you that don't know, the first one they put on was the Tyson and Jones fight, which was, from what I saw, was pretty good, man. And that actually was what inspired me to get back into the fight world. Again, myself was watching Tyson, mostly Tyson. Mike Tyson looks good. He came back, and I was like, man, this guy could fight with probably most people right now in boxing. Definitely on this Triller card, like I want to see Jake Paul and Tyson go down, man. Like Jake Paul's talking a lot of shit. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'd fight him. I'd fight him in a heartbeat, man. It was interesting. I'll get into that now with Askren, and let's just we'll just be honest, and I'll just say it. Even Ben would say it himself. He's not a boxer. Everybody knows that. Ben's not a boxer, but he did exactly what he said he was going to do. He went in there and he said, "I'm going to fight this guy. I'm going to fight this guy for a lot of money. If he knows how to box, I'm not going to do very well." But I don't think he does. And I was in the exact same mindset as Askren's, and I thought, I don't think this guy can fight. I think it's a show. So, and then, you know what? Watching the whole fight, watching what I saw again from the fight, I think I only saw 10 seconds, but I guess that's kind of all you needed to. I'm not going to knock Ben. I'm not going to, like, the people that are saying it was fixed and everything, like, the only thing that might have been fixed was that ref calling it, if there was some kind of weird thing like that. But there's not enough evidence at all to me to think that fight would be fixed. Jake Paul hit him with a huge overhand right. It was a big shot. He's a bigger dude coming down. I know we all want to talk about Askren's getting thrown on his head by Lawler and the beatings that he's taken before. But here's the thing, man. He hit him. It stunned him. He got down. He got up. He was ready to go. He said he was ready to go. I don't know why they stopped that fight at that time. I get it. Maybe the ref saw something that we didn't. Maybe he was like, maybe he saved Askren's life. Who knows, man? I think what we all, or most people, would have liked to see was Askren's and Paul go, 6 rounds, see kind of what happened here. Like, I'm not getting anything from Jake Paul. I have no idea what this guy, like, it was a good shot. I'll give him that. It looks like he can probably throw a punch. I don't know, man. I'm not super impressed by his training videos. It looks like he's got quick hands. He can, it looks like he can probably box, but he's fighting guys that aren't fighters. He's not fighting boxers. Like, fight Askren's in a rematch in an MMA fight. Like, I bet you Askren takes that fight. He said that he's not going to fight again, but I bet you he takes that. I'd be shocked if he didn't. But regardless, give credit where credit's due. Congrats to Jake Paul. Never fucking thought I'd say that. There's the F-bomb. Whoopsie doodle. But I didn't think I'd ever go there. But congrats. He won. I don't know if you can say he deserved it, whatever, but he won. So congrats to Jake Paul. And he said he was going to take a rest and sit on this for a while. But I just don't buy that. But I am dying to see this guy fight somebody. Like, he keeps saying that he's proven himself, but he's not. Come on, Jake, you're not proving yourself. You're just proving what everybody's saying, that you're just hand choosing your opponents, that guys that you think you can beat. Fight Tyson, do that, or fight Cormier. That run that mouth off. Look, man, fight me. Let's go. You got 30 pounds on me. Let's go. Let's do it. I'll do it. I'll do it for $25. Throw me in there. Chuck the 25 at me. Let's go. Let's see how long it takes you to knock me out. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say on that. Now let's get into Mr. Mayu. let's talk your boy, because this is maybe one of the, there's a lot of exciting stuff in sports, but this might be the biggest thing right now. Is Mr. Patrick Marleau. Congrats to Patty Marleau for being like, you got to call him the Iron Man. It's weird to say it wasn't consecutive games, but dude just played the most career games in NHL history, ahead of, this is maybe the most unthinkable, right? Like Gretzky's record seemed like, a lot of his records seemed like they'd never be touched. But this one, like, you're looking at Gordie Howe games played, no one's ever going to touch that. Messier was like, he made a run for it and came short. And you're like, well, nobody's ever going to do it then. Patty Marleau, man, holy moly, dude. He's ahead, and he might even get another season. This record might be enormous, but pretty cool fact that they're both Gordie Howe and Patrick Marleau are from Saskatchewan, so that was kind of neat. So Saskatchewan grows some dudes that they have some longevity. But yeah, huge congrats to him. That is unbelievable. For people kind of knocking that, like, oh, he just played the games. Like, he played almost 2,000 games in the NHL. What was it, 17? Josh will probably throw that exact number out in a second. 1787 or somewhere around there. A lot of games. So it was super cool to see that one of the stats that got me is that he did it in 23 years. What was it? Gordie Howe did it in 25, and I think Messier did it in, I don't know, Marleau did it in the least years. 1768, thank you. Pretty close. I got the numbers right. Just different. 1768. That is a lot of games. Pretty amazing. And like I said, he did it in 23 seasons, which was kind of neat because 23 years, you think of the last 23 NHL seasons, he's gone through a lockout, he's gone through the shortened season with COVID. You'd think that it would have been, if somebody would have looked at the chances of him hitting that, it would have, I don't think anybody would ever get that. 899 consecutive game run. Him? Marleau? That's amazing. And I know Kessel's on a run too of, so the actual Ironman streak of consecutive games played, that is impressive. 899, Mr. May is telling me, our stats guy. I only laughed at that because I was stats guy for the Penetanguishene Kings. Hopefully my internet's connecting here. It's the first time I've actually seen the connection symbol that's looking pretty weak. So hopefully you're all hearing me and it's all good. But I'm going to get into, so huge shout out to Marleau. That wasn't even on my list of things to talk about, but it needed to be talked about. So as we do, usually Matt and I get deep into it, and we usually kick the thing off with it, is the Toronto sports teams. And I'm going to kick it off with the Blue Jays, who fell to the Bo Sox tonight. The surprise of the MLB season, maybe. The Boston Red Sox. Thank you, D. It's good to know. Perfect. The Boston Red Sox are in first in the AL East. Pretty solid record. Again, a win against the Jays tonight. They're looking good. That the AL East is probably the most surprising division, I would say, right now. Yankees sitting in last, just not getting it together. Boston on top of almost, I think, the league at this point. Everybody right in the middle. It's going to be interesting. Everybody that's our typical Toronto fans, let's pump the brakes, guys. We're not even like a 16th of the way, or we might just be a 16th of the way into the season. Lots of game left to play. Let's not start talking anything really until the 40, 50 game mark, And then if you're going to say, well, that's too late, well, I would beg to differ. But they're looking okay. Let's not forget that we are completely riddled with injuries. It's unbelievable, the pitching going down. I just saw TJ Zoik is out. He's on the IL now too. It's kind of ridiculous. But if this team, and I'm going to say if, because the way it's going, I don't know if they'll ever have the full, well, they won't, because, our boy who is going to come in and be the closer, man, I already forgot his name because it hurts so bad. Mr. Kirby, he's gone. He's never going to play well, hopefully, I mean, he's not going to this year. Maybe he'll come back next year. We'll see what happens. But our boy Kirby, who I expected to be the closer and put up some fantastic numbers this year, out for the season, never even got to play a game. So that. We got Nate Pearson out, but it looks like he might be back this week. Hope, fingers crossed. He'll be back soon at least, so that's good news. Springer, still haven't seen him suit up yet. I keep not hearing a lot. It sounded like he was close. I thought he would have been in by now, but a little bit of a delay there. So who knows what's going on with him? There's lots of injuries all around the league, but man, the Jays are just riddled with them right now. And they're doing okay, really. Everybody was talking about how their pitching was going to be the weak part of this team, and it's looking pretty solid right now. Everybody talked about the explosive offense, and we just haven't really seen it. We saw one game. My boy Vladdy, though, is smashing it right now. Bo's starting to heat up. So you get those guys going. Once Springer comes back, Simeon's been hitting pretty well. Grichuk is hitting well too. They're in a good spot when healthy. I think if the pitching can stay going like that, Matz. Oh man, Steven Matz. I was pretty high on this guy coming into the season, and I watched a couple preseason games, and you just watch this guy's. You just watch the way he throws, and the ball has such nice movement. He looks in control, and I knew that coming in from the Mets. Like when people were asking, like he had a bad year. People kind of really are sticklers on the stats sometimes, and I used to be. I still kind of am, but you got to kind of. The last season was not like you can't judge anything on what happened last season. It was so short. The world was in chaos. It was just. You can't judge anything on last season. So there's a lot of guys that had some bad numbers and are coming back this year, and it seems like a big surprise. But for the most part, a lot of those guys are career solid players. Matt's being one of them. So he's been a pretty bright spot, I'd say, so far. And I think this rotation will look pretty nice when it gets all put together. You got Ryu, Matz. I do like Robbie Ray. I think he's had a couple of nice outings. He, on paper, looked pretty good last game. Went through 5 no runs, a lot of walks, and a decent amount of hits, but nobody scored. So got some good help from the D, and but he got through the game. So I do like him. I think he's got a good shot at replicating what he did a couple of years ago. So what I say, you got Ryu, Matz, Pearson, Ray, and then the 5th spot is where it gets tricky, right? There's just so many options, and it'll be interesting what they can do there. I think if everybody's healthy, we'll see what happens. But I don't think Stripling's the worst idea. I will be quite blunt and say that I don't think Roark belongs in the rotation. I think there's enough other people that you can roll with to give a shot, man. It might be interesting to see Merriweather, another one that's down and it looks like might be out for a while. He's an interesting pitcher, man. His stuff looks good. His fastball is hitting triple digits and got some wild movement, and then he can throw in a changeup at it comes in at 80. He's I really hope that he comes back and is healthy because he looks good. But that was the knock on him, right? Is that he's always kind of been hurt. So it sounds like it might not be the best of injuries, especially for a pitcher, an oblique tear or something. They're saying it's going to be for sure more than 10 days. So we'll see. But anyway, hopefully the Jays can get healthy. We could talk about that forever and talk about the guys that are playing well, but yeah, let's give some props to the Sox, who everybody had in the basement of this division, and they're looking good. And again, it's super early, but they're on a nice run. And I talk about how bad the Jays fans and the Toronto fans can be, but man, those Yankee fans are just tearing the Yanks up. Again, they're going to be a good team. If things don't get together and they just have a bad season, that'll be a shocker to me. A couple little moves that we might see soon in the pitching. It sounds like Garcia might come up. I don't know. We'll see. But the Yankees have a lot of talent there. They have a lot of good. They got some good young guys coming up too. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. They're not gonna. I think that AL East race is going to be a dogfight, and I think it's going to be tight. We'll see. I think the Jays are going to come out on top. That was my prediction before the season started. I'm going to stick with it and think that they're going to win the division. If not, this is going to be a playoff team. They'll get the wild card, and I see them going deep in the playoffs again, health wise. If everybody can stay healthy, things can get on a run. I see them doing really well. Hopefully, Vlad stays hot. Cooled down a bit, but again, he was hitting 400 all season up until tonight or the game before. He's hitting the ball well. He looks good. He's getting walks. Again, this is just telling you, just throwing it out there. I picked it. I can show you. I took Vlad to win the MVP this season. Only picked it before the season. I picked it before preseason even. Just feeling it. Vladdy's my boy. I just felt since the Jays signed him, thought that this guy was going to be the man. He had all the tools to be a superstar in this league. He still has all the tools. His dad, one of the best hitters in MLB history. It's exciting stuff, man. And I think that we're going to see some really, really special things from this team. Bo, again, we all know this. Jay's got this great team of second generation MLBers, and it's really cool to see. But yeah, they're exciting. They're going to be exciting, and it's gonna kind of be like the Raptors got to be a sexy team a couple of years ago, winning a championship. People look at Toronto a little hotter than they did a few years ago, right? Like a couple of years ago, this was not a place that people wanted to come to. It wasn't a big destination, but now the Leafs are the go-to destination. You got guys signing here that are taking giant pay cuts. Thornton one, Spezza another. As I segue right into the Leafs here, they're exciting. Let's give you a live update here of the score. Those of you watching with me, we've got the Leafs up. We're up 1. Oh my goodness, 1-0 last time I checked. Now with a minute 27 left, we got a 2-2 game. Pretty interesting. Hey, no way. Oh no. Okay, sorry. So Tavares sniped 2. Quinn Hughes and Sutter have the goals for Vancouver, and power play goal for JT. And so yeah, Vancouver let's talk about the NHL this year. Crazy setup, wild way things are going, and we have a all Canadian team, all Canadian division. Pretty interesting so far, and everybody talked about how close it was going to be at the beginning, and it's been kind of up and down, but I still everybody's still in this thing. It's not gonna. The Leafs were looking good and had a nice cushion for a long time, but they by no means are locked up for first. It'd be nice to take first and try and secure home ice advantage, but I don't even know what that means now, because there's going to be a lot of stuff up in the air for playoff time, whether they'll be playing there, whether the bubble, what's going to happen once you get out of this division. It's going to be really interesting to see how they put all this together. But in the meantime, let's just talk about how exciting the Leafs are. And I know, again, people just jump on a loss so quick, and you know what? This team is still very good. They're still maybe the favorite. Well, you look at the betting odds; they're close to the favorite to win the cup, but they're right up there. Their odds have been in the top 3, I think, in terms of betting to win the cup. Like, the Leafs have always been up there since, I think, the beginning of the season, and with good reason, man. Dubas has done a phenomenal job. This team on paper, man, I don't know. You got to give the guy a huge applause, because you look at this team, and I guarantee, like 5 years ago, if you put this team on paper and showed somebody, they'd be like, "You're never going to get that team together. It's just not going to be possible." Because you look at this team and the depth in it, it is absolutely bananas. Speaking of that, again, we talk about injuries, and hopefully Zach Hyman comes back and is good. I haven't heard any update on that, but took a tough knee, and he's a dude that you talk about guys that the Leafs can't afford to lose, and he's almost one of them. I mean, he is one of them. Again, they're so deep and they've got so much going on that they're in a good position, even if a number of people go down, to be in a good spot. But Zach Hyman, man, he's a lot of heart on that team, and awesome getting in Nick Foligno because he's very similar in style of Hyman. I think a lot of the players are going to really like the way Foligno plays. Like I said weeks ago, he was kind of like, to me, that picture perfect guy. I don't know, Dubas, if you read my mind or what's going on, but the Thornton pickup and the Wayne Simmons, man, that was great. When that signing happened, I was pretty thrilled about it. And again, now people are knocking him, and this is okay. I want to get to this. This was another heated thing that I needed to talk about tonight was the talks. And I know this is just rumors and whatever, so we'll see what it actually comes down to. But the talks of who the Leafs are going to have come playoff times and who's going to sit. And a couple of people are talking, I've read actually from a number of people saying that Thornton and Simmons would be the guys that you'd be sitting. And to me, that's just bananas. Like, I'll say it. No, it's stupid to me. To me, that would be silly. It would be a mistake. And it doesn't really matter, to be honest, what's going on right now, if they're a step behind or whatever people are saying or whatever you're thinking and you're seeing right now from these two guys. When playoff times come, like when it comes down to it, those are the dudes that you want dressed and you want on the ice, because they're gonna be gamers, man. They've been there. You know how bad Thornton wants a cup. That's why he came here. You're gonna sit that guy in the playoffs? Get out of town. He's gonna be solid, man. He's gonna have. He's got something to prove. You're not gonna want to sit that guy in the playoffs. I'll just say that right now. Simmons is the same thing, man. He's gonna be a beast. And again, so this is just me, and I'll be shocked and surprised. I guess that's the same thing. I was gonna say appalled. Probably more accurate, if Thornton and Simmons are sitting come playoff time, unless they're hurt or something weird happens, because those dudes need to be on the ice. At least give them the first game or two. If they look bad or if they're out of place or if they're hurting the team, then you sit them. But you don't sit them at the start of the playoffs. Get out of town. Come on now. I should call it the writer that I read that from, but yeah, I said I'm bringing all love here, so we'll just say that some silly calls on that one. On the other hand, let's just talk about where I'll just kind of give you. I don't know why I said let's talk about. I can't hear what you guys are saying. If you do want to shoot some questions or some thoughts on what you guys want, come on in and let's hear them. I did send the invite out to a few of the boys to come on the show. I thought I might have a guest or two, but apparently they don't check the thread that they're all on anymore. So, yeah, I don't even know where I was going. Let's guess depth and how the squad looks. So let's talk about it. I like the pairings. Let's say everybody's healthy, everything's all good to go. Matthews, Marner, and Hyman have always been a pretty good line together. I do like when they mix. I like Matthews and Marner together. I wouldn't mind seeing maybe Foligno in that spot, or honestly, even Wayne Simmons. If we want to get some like four lines of magic, kind of do it all, I would probably go Matthews, Marner, Simmons on the top line. And then second line, you'd go. I think I'd do Tavares, Nylander, and then Hyman if he's healthy, and that's like I'd say that's a good way to go there. There's so many good ways to do this. Third line, man, I kind of like Thornton up the middle, even though they haven't been doing it at all. I just think that he's just. I think that he can still win the draws. I don't know. I like Thornton up the middle regardless. And then Foligno and Robertson might be a good, like, again, I'm not the coach, but I'm just like thinking like how this it could work out pretty well. And then the fourth line, man, you got so many options again. I don't even know where to go. Spezza, I would probably have centering that. with I'm like missing some peeps for sure here, I think, right? Oh yeah, Galchenyuk. Man, see, like what is like there's too many dudes that are just good here. Brooks he's been playing pretty good. I don't know if you ever put him in a playoff spot, but Engvall, another one everybody's talking about. He's probably not. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm leaving out some good ones here. So scrap that. Third line would be, now that I can see everybody. Let's go back to the second line. I still like Tavares, Nylander, and I think Hyman. I think that's good. Third line, you'd go Kerfoot, or I'd go Kerfoot. I'd probably put Thornton there. Kerfoot, Thornton, and Galchenyuk. Again, you can just play around with these so much, man. You could put Galchenyuk on the top line. Man, move it down, and then third. You got your last line would be like Spezza, Robertson, and I don't know. Take your pick, whoever you want to put there. I kind of like Brooks. I don't know why. He's probably not gonna get that chance, but it'll likely be Engvall, I would think. I'm probably forgetting somebody really good that is just going to be silly of me, but that's deep, and somebody gets hurt, somebody comes in. There's so many things that you can do there. So very exciting for the Leafs, man. I think the goaltending thing, we can definitely touch on that. We've been talking about that for quite a while now with Freddie. Hey, look at us, Josh. That's hilarious how this works. Let's all right, guys, we have a good guest coming on to the show right here. We'll figure out what's going on. Let's have a chat with Mr. Josh Mayu.
It's actually
hey,
Patty Barlow. My name is Patty Barlow. Big fan of Patrick Marleau.
I love it. He's got the hat on and everything. Look at the jerseys. Look at that. Congrats. There's been a lot of congratulating you for Marleau. You know, you're not related to him, are you?
Second, my aunt's second cousin. Yeah, he's my aunt's second cousin. So he's cousin through marriage. So my aunt's,
no relation.
Yeah, no relation, but it's close. I know somebody.
And you've met him a bunch of times, though. It's like you got to
amazing.
You've met him a bunch of times, right?
About 5 times.
Had a beer together, and or you had a beer and looked at him. I can't.
That's what it was. Yeah, had a beer, then I went and saw him.
Well, I love that picture. It looks like you're about to play him a song on the harmonica, and you got your hand on his ass. That's my favorite.
that was funny. I'm like, what is he talking about? And I looked down. Oh, it does look like a harmonica.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if anybody's going to see what I see here, but like, I just pictured you playing him a nice tune after. Congrats on the games, brother.
It does look like I'm grabbing his butt too. Yeah,
it does. Yeah. No, but let's let's talk about that though, because again, we did it earlier, but I'm sure that you want to talk about that. Let's give some love to Mr. Marleau. I'll let you say your speech.
So exciting this past week, right? Just even watching the game where he tied Gordie Howe, right? And I don't have, obviously they were in Las Vegas, so we couldn't watch it on TSN or Sportsnet. So, but I went and streamed it live, 720livestreams.com.
This is gonna get shut down now.
I'm just kidding.
That's our sponsor.
I made that up.
They haven't paid us yet, but
yeah, I made that up.
legal stream, of course.
That's right. Yeah, legal. So, anyways, watching the game, it was just like the hype all day too, and right, you just see everybody on Facebook and social media just shooting out all these pictures, and the San Jose Shark Facebook page. Everyone's like, here, post your pictures and everything. Just congratulations. But watching the starting of that game was just amazing. Love how they put him on the first line, like the first shift. It was awesome, and the picture of him and Pacioretty, right, standing next to each other, to play a little, pump, fist pump.
Was it Pacioretty or Peter Angelo?
Pacioretty.
It was okay.
Yeah,
I just saw the P and I couldn't see who it was.
A couple oldies next to each other. That was good.
That's
and then
awesome.
I taped both Sportsnet and TSN to watch all their kind of. So I guess what you call it, what they were saying about the game and all that stuff. It was pretty neat. It was pretty good. Yeah, huge hype.
Yeah. it's pretty cool, man. Like it was one of those records that kind of snuck up on like you were if you wouldn't have been talking about it so much, I'm not sure if I would have even known it was happening.
Yeah.
Which is wild because that's a huge record. That might be, that might be one of the coolest records to have. And maybe like I know that maybe doesn't like maybe that sounds weird, but that's showing some major longevity. Like that's pretty sweet. You got to play over, 25 like more than half your life in the NHL.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
awesome.
Exactly. And almost every day, almost every game. It's crazy.
That's
but, yeah,
nuts
like,
too.
a lot of people are, you hear out there, it's like, oh, it's, the goals versus assists and points and all that stuff. And he's up there, right? But yeah, playing that many games as an NHL player for your life, and everybody else who's on that list too, that's dedication, that's hard work, and you don't see that
even
too often. But
and it's even more, right? Like it's luck.
Yeah.
It's also like, because you got to be healthy. Like you got to be tough too, right? Like there's no way that you can say you went through that and didn't have, like you weren't beat up times and to not get like you see guys that can't last, 5 games so they're getting hurt. Like the NHL is a tough, like hockey's a tough sport.
Yeah. And all the guys over the years, right? All the guys he's had to play
and the
against,
different styles of the game. Like when he came into the league, there was a lot more banging and crashing and like it's just
and he's built right
with it too, right?
Yeah, he's speed, right? So he's the first guy to go in usually to get the puck. So he's going against guys like Scott Stevens, right? Going to the corner with those guys who are just looking to bang up. But yeah, just incredible not to be able to get injured and play that much. So no, it's good. And I'm go ahead.
No, sorry. What was the last part?
You nothing. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Is my internet connection froze all of a sudden, just like cutting? So
that's cool.
We'll get our sponsor to really get get our internet stream to really fly into my basement here, Will. So hopefully, I mean, I think our sponsor fell asleep too. I was looking really, really forward to having our sponsor come on and say a couple words today, but
I know.
I guess not. We don't have the co-host doesn't show up. The sponsor's not here. Like, thanks, guys. So I guess what they're telling me is, you're on your own. You gotta fund your own show. Thanks for being on, Josh. I'm glad. I felt like I could have talked forever, but I'm glad that you're here.
Yeah, I was listening in, and all of a sudden I was able to take some free time here and definitely hop on and show my support.
Yeah, I like that hat.
Yeah.
Got the old Diamondbacks rocking.
I went to my mom's place and I saw there was 4 of these, and I said, "What's all this?" And they've all got Patrick Marleau's auto on them.
No,
she's like, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh, Uncle Tim, he's throwing them out." I'm like, "What?"
Oh, Uncle Tim. No.
So Uncle Tim, right, was married to Aunt Carol, who is second cousins with Patrick Marleau. So that's where that connection is. So ever since Patrick Marleau was a kid, they knew him his whole life. And obviously he'd see them every time they could. He got autographs, hats. Like I got, where is it here? There's one there. Another one there. So I'm like, he's throwing them out. He's like, yeah. Because they're, anyways, I was like, I'm taking them right now. And they're coming home with me. There's no way.
What's his address? I'm going to go check. I'm going to go hang out outside the dumpster there and grab it.
Well, he did sell his home. So he sold his home and he's moving. So.
Oh, just chucking hats. Okay. You know what's nuts about that? This is a Hall of Famer now. You're just throwing out a Hall of Famer, not only a Hall of Famer, a record holder. He's going to if that record gets touched before I die, I'll be surprised. Like, you can't throw out Marleau's autograph.
No, you came. Even these hats, these are from the early 2000s. All these hats too.
Those hats are sick.
Yeah, I like that. Goes well with the patch behind me here.
You got a nice little setup there.
Yeah, I picked up a few jerseys over there the last couple months.
Looks like
that one. This one's cool. This one here is where is it? Oops. This is the 20th year anniversary one from 1991 to 2011. That one there. But
did I see a Gators jersey up there?
You sure did.
Show that bad boy. That had an awesome logo. Those are just nice jerseys.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. That's
Gators.
sick. We got to
Inline
throw those
hockey.
on. Have a game. You know what we should do? We got me and you on here. I think we're the only two people watching this show. We should throw out a challenge to whoever wants to play us in a roller hockey game as soon as the world allows it. The Gators are back. Look out.
Well, I'd like to do that.
All right, guys.
Even so, you challenge or just get some ice. Yeah, you get our ice. Get a rink, and just say, let's get some ice and try to skate on inlines.
Yeah, roller hockey. Let's get some ice and XABL it.
Yeah, no, just rent a rink and just say, hey guys, show up. You know who you are. Come on out. Bring your skates.
Yeah. Bring your Gators jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those of you that don't have one, good. You're against the Gators.
Yeah. That was fun.
Oh, good. D's
good
in.
Times. Good times.
D's in. Like, I got a jersey for you. So, yeah, she's in too. Do they have co-ed roller hockey? They should.
Probably in the States.
Okay. Well, let's
gotta be.
As soon as we can cross the border,
yeah.
We'll do it. It's on. Let's go. Gators are in. We were supposed to go to Florida back in the day. We're this close.
Yep.
I think we should do it. Man, I'm making a fighting comeback. I might as well play roller hockey. Like, it's gotta be easier than getting punched in the face.
Yeah, true. You just started.
I'm not kidding. I'll get punched in the face in roller hockey too.
Yeah,
I'm a magnet for violence.
Yeah. But it'd be cool to see if any start up a league again and just.
I'd be in at least for a game or get us into a tournament again or something.
Yeah.
So for those of you watching this on replay, hopefully, or at some point in your life, the rest of the team was supposed to be on, but Josh is the only one. So if you schedule us into late night games, we likely won't be able to have a game. So our whole team's old and sleeping.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're up. So thanks for being on again. And
yeah.
Let's keep rocking. What else you got? Did you didn't watch any of the fights at all, eh?
No, I missed them. A couple other friends were just commenting. Did you see it? Did you see it? I said I did not. But tell me how it went. But I was listening to you start off and talk about them, but I didn't even get a chance to look at any replays or.
Well, you if you're looking at the Askren Jake Paul fight, if that's, I mean, the UFC, I keep forgetting how big of a UFC card there was too, and I haven't even brought that up, but I was very intrigued in the Jake Paul Askren's fight, and Paul knocked him out. I say that, and that's what everybody say. That's what it was scored. Right. Askren's he got hit pretty hard and stumbled back and hit the ground. He was up before the 8 count. He had his hands up. He said, "I'm good." The ref said, "No, you're not." He's like, "No, I am." I said, "No, you're not," and he stopped the fight. So I mean, and even Askren's is like, what? That's his job. That's the ref's job. I'm not going to say, like, Askren's is such a good guy. I mean, I'd say that, and he's had his moments, but it's just compared to Jake Paul, he's like the nicest guy in the world. And it's just shitty to, like, that's the main event. That's what everybody's here to see. It wasn't a legit, like, I knocked you out and you're not getting up, where people would be like, okay. It was I don't know. And everybody's talking about maybe. Go ahead.
Is that why people are being like, this is all set up? Is that because of that, or do you think there's something else into it? So
that's the thing, and this is what pisses me off about sports and about the internet and about paying too much attention to other people. Like, most people don't know what they're talking about, for one, and people are like, did you? They're asking him, did you throw the fight? Like, okay, for one, if he's gonna throw the fight, he's not gonna get up and say he's okay.
Right.
Like, if there was any weird throwing of the fight, it would have had to have been between the ref and, like, Jake Paul or the team or whatever, whoever paying the ref to be like, just make sure that Jake wins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if people were putting big money on that, and I did say I was going to talk about Dana White because I do want to talk about that. I don't know if you heard about the bet,
Mm-hmm.
which was interesting. It sounded, and it was again all through social media, so it was never legit. But the way things were placed, it sounded like Dana White bet $1 million that Askren was going to win, which he did. He said, I will bet $1 million that Askren wins." And then I think like Snoop or a couple guys that were like, "Yeah, okay, we'll take that bet," but you know what I mean? Like he never said, "Okay, let's really bet it."
Right,
So
right.
Snoop was like, "Dana
Mm,
White, where's my money?"
yeah,
Um, he's like, "I'm not. It wasn't a real bet, guys. For one, it's that's illegal.
yeah,
Two, if I'm gonna bet it, I would do it legally and get the odds. Like if I'm gonna, you know what I mean? And again, smart. Like you know, we're gonna say this is a sports gambling show. We have a nice little gambling group that we play around with sports. You know, making sports bets here and there. Whatever
yeah,
time I do, if I make a even money bet, I'm usually very confident or in the team or fine with it. But I'm usually paying pretty close attention to the odds. You know what I
yeah,
mean? If I was gonna
yeah,
say, "Hey Josh, let's bet on that," I bet you Askrens is gonna win. Um, I mean, he could have bet at any time. At one point he was an underdog though,
really, eh?
and yeah, and I think that I know they both were at one point. So it was just yeah, it was just interesting to hear like that $1 million bet because the first thing I thought when he lost was like, oh man, Dana's gonna be pissed because the way that it looked was that he probably made $1 million bet on that fight, but
Right. Huh.
but yeah, it was interesting. And you know what? Like I said, I gotta give some props to Jake Paul. I think I think he's a clown. I said I'm not gonna make fun of people or be an asshole to people, but I think Jake Paul is an absolute clown, and and I'd love to punch him in the face. Um, but I mean, got to give him some props. He looks like he might know what he's doing, and he landed a good punch.
Uh-huh.
Um, Askren's is tough. He's a shitty boxer. Like, and everybody knew that going in. He even said that he's a wrestler.
Yeah,
And Jake Paul picked to fight him, so he's not impressing anybody. He's a moron.
yeah.
I said I wouldn't say talk trash about people, but it's hard not to with that guy.
Who else was on the card? You said it was a veteran there that you said.
Frank Mir
Mir,
fought.
yeah, nice.
And it was a replacement. He was. I feel kind of silly because I don't know I think he was supposed to fight Antonio Tarver first, and he got hurt, and then there was a replacement who was another like very good boxer. You think he was? I think he's been long retired though. He's like 46.
Yeah,
Amir did okay. He's not like they made it like the Triller guys are all about their guys. They're really trying to make it look like boxing is a superior sport than MMA. I think like
yeah.
it's weird because they're very much like uh very much geared towards the non MMA fighters, which is kind of weird.
Interesting.
Like it,
Interesting.
yeah. But Mir looked pretty decent. Again, he's not a boxer. He kind of like I'd say he looked sort of like Connor did against Mayweather, but better. Like Mir looked like he could have dropped. I wish I knew the other dude's name. It looked like he could have dropped him at one point.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure he's still a strong fighter.
Mm-hmm. But it's cool to see.
I.
His daughter's a really good fighter.
Oh really? Eh?
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Is
I'm
she
talking a
is
lot.
she in the UFC? Like actually fighting
Not yet. I
professionally?
think she's 18. I think she's 18, and I think she's had either two amateur or two pro fights. She's just kind of coming up the ranking. You'll probably see her in the UFC or something fairly
Yeah.
soon, I would guess, or at least one of the big ones. She's 2-0, apparently really good.
Oh nice.
Makes sense, right? These
Yeah.
second generation athletes, they typically are pretty good.
Yeah. I did see a prelim fight. When I turned it on, it was a tall guy he was like afro, almost like carrot top sort of, and then he was really tall, and then he was fighting the other guy, a little shorter, but it was pissing me off because he was so cocky. And I was like, "Come on, what are you doing? Come on, like punch me. Come on, let's go." And then when he'd get even miss, right, he'd be like put his face out in front. Come on, right here, right here. And he started doing the freaking dancing shit. I'm like, please just knock him out. Like,
Yeah, I want to see that more than anything. Guys do that.
man, it's ridiculous. Like, then the fight was over and it was like, hug, and I didn't get to see who won, but man, I hate that. It's sure that he thinks it's trying to be, entertaining, but it's an insult. It's an insult to the game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm so on the fence with that one. Like it drives me nuts and I hate it, but it is for sure a good tactic because you do like you're
It's
gonna.
true.
To me, man, if somebody did that to me, I would be like trying to time it so I just like knock their face off, like just send their jaw over here. Like it is extremely disrespectful. You know what? If they can pull it off and they can do it, well, then that's on the other guy. Like that always drove me nuts. Like, don't let him do that to you, man. Like he's telling you to hit him, just hit him.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Drop him. You should drop that guy when he does that.
Yeah.
Like if somebody did that to me,
like eyes go red. Let's go on.
Yeah. Okay.
No, and it's cool when you see it and stuff like that. McGregor does it. Anderson, right? Silva, just right again, same thing. It's just like somebody please just knock him out.
Yeah, Anderson Silva was the biggest one.
Yeah, but this kid though, he was doing it almost the whole time, and it was just, okay, do it a couple times. Yeah, sure, get that in there, but it was just constant. I was like, please, just knock him out.
So was he doing it and just the guy not throwing, or he was just like he was able to dodge them?
He was able to, well, not really dodge them. Just it was like the other guy. He knows that he's trying to get under his skin. He knows he wants him to come at him, right? And the tall guy, he had a huge reach on the other guy, but eventually, he'd stick his leg out, then his chin, but then instead of trying to go in, the guy would kick his leg, and he's like, "I'll just keep kicking your leg if you're gonna keep doing that." And then eventually he got on top of him and pulled him down. So
that was in the UFC one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta watch that. I got the Fight Pass, so I can watch the replay. Yeah, I do want to watch that. There's a lot of good stuff. It sounded like happened there. I already read a bunch about it, but it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen with the UFC and what's going forward there. McGregor's doing his thing again. He's back with his just full out antics. It was weird.
Oh yeah,
because that last fight leading into it. It was like a complete role reversal, eh? Like McGregor was like, "What a lovable guy this guy is."
Yeah,
oh my, he's a sweetheart. And like, you forgot this is the guy that threw a chair through a bus.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was just like, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, and then every time he steps up with somebody, right, he's got something to say, or
last fight. Leading up to it, he was just such a nice dude. Like, oh, congratulations! And did you see? Okay, did you see what went down with those two now?
No.
So after the fight, we're talking about how good he was and everything, and McGregor's like, "I'm gonna donate to your charity." He's gonna donate $500,000 to the Good Fight or whatever Poirier's charity is.
Yeah.
And then I guess after the fight, Poirier hadn't heard from him for a while and went on Twitter and was like, they kind of started the jawing a little bit. And Poirier was like, well, we'll see on July 10th and something, you'll pay your debts. Like, I think he flat out said that you didn't pay your donation or whatever, or you didn't pay your debts. And then Connor got mad and was like, for one, it's not a debt, it was a donation. And I asked you for the business plan. Like, I don't know, I'm wording it like I heard them talk. This is just a Twitter war back and forth. And definitely paraphrasing 90% of it, but it was basically like going back and forth, and they kind of just like, if the fight's off, by the way, it was like, what? He called out the fight over this thing. But I think that was just a heated moment, because from everything I've seen is they're still fighting. But it's interesting because Poirier turned down the title fight for the trilogy with them, which to me is super weird. But I get it. The money's in that fight.
Yeah.
I know how bad Poirier wanted the title. It's just crazy that they're gonna, like, Chandler and Oliveira, Charles Oliveira are fighting for that title. It's only gonna be Chandler's second fight in the UFC. It's kind of like Brock Lesnar-esque stuff going on here.
Yeah. Jeez. That should be good though.
Yeah, I think so, man. Did you watch those, didn't you? The last Chandler and Dan Hooker fight?
I did, yeah.
Right. We were watching, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, watching it via Zoom together.
Yep.
um, Chandler looks good, man, and it's the same. Like they talk about how he hasn't earned his dues, but he was a Bellator champ before he came here. Like the guy's already beaten most big names, so yeah, that division is going to be exciting. And hopefully, in the next 2 years, I can get my way in there by some miracle and fight them all.
Well, good luck. Good luck.
Thanks.
Have you got anything lined up, or just still doing some training and
getting some training? I've actually reached out, and Aaron Dupuis, who Aaron, yeah. So he fought a little bit of pro back in the day, and is getting back into it and training. He's doing an awesome job with a lot of the ground game with me, and doing some good training with him. And he's been talking about some stuff. So there's definitely chatter and stuff lining itself up. What it'll be and when it'll be or how it'll be is who knows. Could be quite a ways away too, with everything going on in the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm getting set. I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to go. I'm calling out Jake Paul. I'm calling out anybody that I'm going for the gold. I'll end up fighting somebody's like younger brother or something, but it'll be fun. But yeah, no, I'm excited. Training. I'm training, mediocre right now. But I'm amping it up. I'm feeling good. And before the lockdown happened, I was training pretty good with Aaron. And yeah, man, feeling good. Getting the ground game sharp, and I feel really good.
That's good. Yeah, physical and mentally, right? It just keeps yourself focused, and that's what it's doing. That's good.
Yes, sir. Mentally, man. That's you got to keep the mind right.
Yep.
But yeah, on that note, thank you for asking and me veering off into that. And I think I touched on most stuff there. Is there anything that you want to speak on while you're
Not
here?
really. I think you kind of covered a lot of stuff, and I just want to talk about a little bit of Marlowe there. But
Nice.
that's good. Yeah, that's good. Look
Okay.
forward to all the stuff they say. Watching the Jays and the Raptors and the Leafs it's been great watching them back to back almost every day. So.
It's pretty sweet, right? Like, sports is kind of the to me, it was always like my safe place and my savior, and like kept me mentally sane. And holy moly, is it ever like, I don't know what I would do if there was no sports going on right now. It would be nutty. So yeah, it's super exciting. And yeah, I guess just I'll ask you, since we're here, and we can end it in a minute, but since I rambled on about the Leafs and their depth and their lines, like where are you fitting with, like, what kind of lineups would you have, even in the top two scoring lines?
Well, what they've been rolling with, like, Matthews, Marner, and Hyman, like when he comes back, I like that. Like I said, even last time we spoke, they got a lot of new talent or new guys, and trying to roll all these different lines. I find that even with Matthews and Marner, they were given, I think, 4 or 5 different players that one game, and they did nothing. I think that consistent lines need to happen for them, but especially when they get closer to the playoffs, they're going to need to do that. But that's where they're at. They got their pickups, they've got their guys, they've got their injuries now. They just got to get those guys comfortable playing with each other, and sure, rolling the lines. But and it's good that they're in a position they can do that, because right now they're sitting up there. They can play around. They can lose the odd game here and there, which they shouldn't be. But
especially like Vancouver, right?
Yeah, like that's. And I've watched the game tonight. They're pretty much all over them. They just can't get that puck in the net. And then there's just some weak goals going in. That Vancouver is just picking those corners. But what's the score?
Yeah, it's 3-3. Yeah, with 11 minutes left in the third. It's Brooks, nice. Brooks scored a shorthanded goal. I mentioned him. I got his Young Guns card sitting right in front of me, and I was like, been hanging on to that for a while. Like, hey, get your chance. So a shorty for Brooks. The Leafs are shooting them 36-24 right now. Yeah. So let's kind of chat. Thank you. Do you have anywhere to go?
No, just
keep chatting.
I know it's getting late, but no, just about the Leafs. So just keep going and get stronger for getting ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, nice. That's a good call because I forgot, like you mentioned, they got, I mentioned Foligno, but they got Riley Nash, who I didn't even mention, and I think
Hmm.
I read that he's like the one of the top three shutdown guys in the league. I'm pretty sure I read he has like one of the best plus minuses or some kind of ratio
Yeah,
of when he's on the ice, like just shut down. Like I think there's not a lot of offense that happens, but like nobody's scoring,
right. Well,
which
that's
is
good.
all right. Um,
Nice.
so he'll be another one, man. Like he was one that I kept thinking I'm forgetting somebody on the fourth line, and he's like the perfect guy for that. Um, it's exciting, dude. Like Felino, they're quarantined, I think, right, for another few more days, probably.
Yeah, yep, yeah,
So it's gonna be exciting when they show up. Like
yeah. I
Nick,
can't wait.
it, you look at, like I said at the beginning, if you would have shown this team to probably most people on paper, like even a year this time last year,
Yeah,
they'd be like, "Are you out of your mind? There's no way. There's no way."
yeah,
Like I'd have to say that Dubas is like some kind of genius, and yeah, you can give them that like the Thorntons and the Spezes and the guys are signing for nothing, and they wouldn't have done that anywhere, but it doesn't matter.
no,
Like
no, no.
it's crazy the stuff he's put together. Now, I don't know if you know the answer to this, but what happens right now? They're semi lucky because lucky might not be the word, but with Anderson hurt, that frees up money, which they're I'm pretty sure capped at. And I think when he comes back, something will have to happen with the roster, right?
I don't think so. I
No?
don't think I'm pretty sure. I think it's at a certain point of this, either the season or into the playoffs, that the cap doesn't matter. The cap doesn't matter.
Hmm.
They can Anderson can come back, and they don't need to drop anybody, or maybe they have to put into the roster. But when it comes to the cap,
Okay.
there's
So
no.
like the guys that they sent down, oh, that's interesting. I kind of haven't looked ever really too deep into the logistics of what you could do as a like running a
Yeah,
team. But man, yeah, it's I always say like I'm always like, oh man, I'd hate to be Keefe right now, but man, you'd love to be Keefe right now to be able to look at
absolutely.
that roster and be like, it's a very hard decision to sit somebody, but
Yeah,
this is all right.
you almost
Like
have
everybody's gonna,
his job's harder. He's got to think like, holy shit, okay, I got this huge roster. What do I do?
yeah, yeah. It's 100% harder because you're like, yeah. Anyway, tough job. But
Mm-hmm.
on that note, with Freddie Anderson, and we're like, I talked about this. I talked about this on the fan the other day. I got through and had a quick chat with Joey Vendetta.
Oh, cool, cool.
A quick chat was me just saying two words and then bye. But the goaltending situation, where are you sitting? How do you feel about where the Leafs are at with the goaltending?
They got their butts covered. Is basically what I see. It's they have two guys, three really right now. They've got two solid guys who can do the trick. They can do the job. They can stop the pucks, and then but it's going to be huge to get Anderson back in the playoffs.
Yeah,
That's going to be a big one. But at least they've got two really good goalies that can take them there and hold on to give them a chance at least into the playoffs if Anderson doesn't come back. But I'm happy with it. I don't. It's not
yeah,
like McElhaney is a great goalie, but it's not like they just have McElhaney and somebody else like Sparks. They've actually got
right.
three good backup goalies.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good call. And all three that have kind of carried the load at some point. Oh, jeez, Vancouver's up 4-3.
Oh,
Tanner Pearson on the PP. Okay,
jeez.
can we just? Quinn Hughes has a goal and 2 assists in this game. That kid's good,
Yeah.
man. Sorry, yeah. On the goaltending note, that's I'm starting to, I said basically the same thing you said last time, and I'm starting to like. I said that Jack Campbell. I said this from the beginning of the season that I think he could be number one, and you're good.
Mm-hmm.
It's all a mental thing with goalies too, though, right? He's been money, and now like after losing one, and I heard that he gets really hard on himself and blames himself a lot.
Yeah.
Hopefully that he keeps the mental game in check, right? Because again, you said there was a couple weak goals tonight. Is it Campbell and net tonight?
No, it's oh my
Oh,
god,
it's Riddick. Okay,
it's Riddick. Sorry, yeah,
yeah. Okay, so it's interesting, man, because him too. When last year, or guess it was 2 years ago when Calgary made that playoff run. Like he looked good, and I thought he was going to be a superstar.
Yeah.
So there's potential there, but yeah, those soft goals and goalies are just a different breed, right? That mental game is so tough. But yeah, I agree with you. I think that they're in a pretty good spot, but you'd like to see Anderson come back. But again, if it gets too close to the playoffs, what do you do?
Yeah.
Do you put him in if he's not ready? Or not even that he's not ready. Do you throw him in a playoff game when he hasn't seen game action in months, right? When's his last game? Early February?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. We'll see.
Wild.
Anyways, I got to get going. Somebody's calling me.
Okay, well, thanks for hopping on, man. That was good.
Yes, no problem. Yeah.
That's good. I think we'll call it there. I'll sign off and have a word from our sponsors. And
sounds good. All right, thanks,
thanks
MoneyLine. Oh,
hey, thanks, Mr. May.
I forgot to mention birthdays last time, but it's Gostisbehere's birthday today.
Hey, nice.
And
good,
Benino from Pittsburgh. Yeah. He
was a Duck for a while.
Yeah. That's it. There's nobody else really. No big names today on 420.
Hey, thanks for mentioning that. I forgot about that. That's interesting. 420. Hey, happy 420, everybody.
Yeah, 420.
And thanks for being here, Josh. Actually, that was really a nice little break in the middle and a good chat and a good show. Thanks for being 2 shows in a row, man. You're gonna have to make a habit of it.
I love it. It's good.
All right, man. Go and win the pool this week. All right.
Okay. I will.
Okay. All right.
Good night.
Do it. All right, buddy. Thanks. All right, there you have it, Josh Mayu, and the biggest Patrick Marleau fan I know. And so thank you guys for being here and bearing with me. Hopefully you stuck it out for the full hour. And if you had any insights or any thoughts or any arguments you want to make with me, please do make some comments. I'll be sure to answer them back. And have a fantastic night. Let's go sports.